who can. I'm gonna live stream this to Facebook because I'm about to give everyone some amazing game tonight. Like it's so crazy. So 1 second. I'm super excited to have y'all here. Like, thank you so much for showing up on this free credit masterclass. I mean, hey, y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all chose to be. So I really appreciate that support, and I appreciate you guys for trusting me to give you guys some information that can change your life. See, I always tell people information truly does change situations. And if you feel frustrated right now, and maybe because of the information that you have, drop some fives in the chat if you guys know how it feels to be frustrated. Um, Drop some fives in the chat if you ever been in a place called stuck, because let me tell you guys my story. See, a lot of you guys see me on Facebook and like, who is this person? Like, who's Caitlin? Like, she's always posting about credit, but I don't know her. Like, is she a scam? Like, I have so many people who think my page is a scam. But I get it, because nowadays, like, there's so many scams and stuff going on, so like, I get it, right? But I've been in a place called stuck, and the most saddest, most frustrating, most aggravating place in life to be in is a place called stuck. Why? Because when you're stuck, you do absolutely nothing. A confused mind does nothing. And I am not afraid to admit this truth. Like, it's the reality. A lot of people mistaken social media and people they see and the way someone looks and presents himself as someone who has this perfect, or comes from a perfect or silver spoon, but that's not the case. See, what brought me here.
Hey, so I have a travel agent on the line, and
So what brought me here today, you guys, was the simple fact that I was going through a lot of like anger. Like, I literally turned my anger into progression. Like, it's always progress over failure. All the depression, the anger, the times that I didn't understand what I was going through, I didn't understand why I had bad credit, and how to get out that situation. I just used all of that to fuel to be able to get to where I am today. So listen, I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time tonight. Today is a free credit masterclass. Do me a favor and drop some fire in the chat if you're excited. Let me know y'all are excited for this free credit masterclass, because I'm super excited. Like, I can't wait to give y'all this information. So let me share my screen with you guys and let's get started. Like I said, don't want to take up too much of your time tonight. Make sure you have some pens, some papers, something to take notes, because once you get this information, you're not going to want it to go away. You're going to always want to be able to come back and reference to this right here, due to the fact that you may need this now, later, tomorrow, for your mom, for a sibling. You just never know. So I want you to know that I am here to assist you in every single way, shape, and form. Rather, that's just value. That's me giving you tips. That's me showing you how to build your credit, how to get items deleted. Like, literally. All right. See, I have like some people. I'm gonna see, Regina, if I can make you a co-host, if you don't mind, if you're available to like just mute anybody that comes in. Thank you for showing up as well. I appreciate your support. Um, so let's go, guys. This is the credit repair masterclass for you all. Coming to you guys, reporting to you live from Orlando, Florida. I see we have people from New York. I mean, Cali, New York. Like, where else we got? Georgia. There's so many people from different states tuning in on this right here. So this is super cool. Okay, so what is how is credit structured? What do we do with it? How do I fix it? I may have some medical bills. I may have a repo. I may have an eviction. Like, I get it. Like, I have been there before. I mean, student loans, negative items, late payments, inquiries. And it made me feel frustrated. Like, can you guys relate? Like, having these negative items can make you feel real frustrated, because it's preventing you from being a homeowner. It's preventing you from getting a vehicle. It's preventing you from moving forward in the next stages of your life, especially in this life that we live in today, right? So when structuring your credit report, you want to make sure that you have these amazing like 5 factors, okay? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people be like, oh, I got a good credit score, I got a 720. Oh, I have a good credit score, I have a 750, right? But they don't have any revolving loans, like they have no installment reporting. So they think because they have little to no credit that they have nothing negatively reporting. That doesn't mean you have good credit just because that numbers at 720 or 659. If you don't have these 5 factors right here, you can go to the dealership with a 720 and get denied. You can get turned away because you have nothing to show trustworthy. So these 5 factors right here is going to help you, is going to show the banks and show the lenders and other individuals that you are trustworthy. Your payment history, your utilization, derogatory marks, your age of your credit, your total accounts. If like you don't have 10 or more accounts reporting, you don't really have amazing credit, unfortunately. If you have way more than inquiries, like 2 inquiries, like they're gonna look at you like, wow, you're like really greedy for money. If you have derogatory marks, they're gonna look at you like, man, you're like so untrustworthy. Like, how can I trust you to give you this home or give you this vehicle? However, I noticed that you have these derogatory marks. You didn't pay these people back. If you didn't pay them people back, what makes you think you're gonna pay me back? That's how they're looking at you, right? Your credit usage. If your credit card is $1,000 per se, right? Let's just say you have a $1,000 limit, right? If your credit card is $1,000, if you spend more than $300 on that card, or you allow more than $300 on that card to continue to show up, guess what happens? It looks like you're it looks like you are in need of money because you're borrowing over your utilization. I will break that down to you guys later on, but I want you to understand that just because you have access to a big credit card, that don't mean spend over the utilization. Keep it under 30%. However, 10% is like extremely elite. So just do the math in your calculator, whatever your credit limit is. I have 7 credit cards. I don't know how many you guys have, but just put each limit in the calculator and times it by 30% and put the equal sign, and it will give you a number. That number it gives you, don't spend more than that number, but that number is like the max, right? So try to keep it a little less, like 10%. So maybe get that same credit limit and times that credit limit by the 10% so you can see what you shouldn't be spending. Because what happens is when you start having good utilization reporting, no derogatory marks, a good age of credit history, and a good mix of credit, the banks are going to want to give you money. And a lot of people they think they don't want to give you money. Like a lot of regular, consumers think, oh, the banks don't want to give me money. That's not true. The banks are operating because it's a business, right? The banks are a business. Due to the fact that they are a business, they want to give you guys money so they can make more revenue, right? So they just want to see that you're trustworthy. So just keep in mind that these 5 factors are very important. Now let's understand your credit report. See, a lot of people come to me and they're like, Caitlin, I need help with my credit. I've went through credit companies before. I paid this lady $500. I used this company and I paid them $80 a month. Like nothing was working for me. Well, the reason why is because you didn't take the time to understand your credit report and the process and the rights you have as a consumer. Once you understand your rights as a consumer, you can beat the system. Can somebody put beat the system in the chat, right? So understand this, when getting started with building your credit report, you want to make sure that you do what we call the staging process, okay? Now, within the staging process, all you're doing is prepping your credit report. You know how like before a surgery, if you've ever had one, how you have to like go through like all that prep, like the paperwork, they may have you prep the night before where they're like, don't eat after this time and don't drink after this time. Well, let's try to relate that to credit and finances. When it comes down to credit, you want to prep the credit process. You want to prep your dispute process. You don't want to just go in and send out a letter without doing these steps right here. So do me a favor, write this down or take a screenshot. This is very valuable, and it's super easy to do. So what you want to do is remove any misspelled names or extra names. You want to definitely remove any old addresses. You want to always call the credit bureaus and make sure you have these personal items removed. So if you're like me, who was like, I want to repair my credit, do not waste time doing this. You have this information now. Let's execute on it, because I'm telling you, this is the major, major, major factor to prepping your credit report to go through this dispute process. Removing any old information about yourself, out with the old, in with the new. Okay, so you may have addresses depending on how old you are, right? And depending on how many years when you look at your credit report, you might see like 10 different addresses. When I was doing my mom and dad's report, They never even went through a credit process before. So looking at their credit report was a bit like ridiculous, like, right? And the reason why I say that is because they had so many negative items and like just stuff from years ago, like before I was even born. Like, y'all, like that was a long time ago. So they had phone numbers from back in 1990 reporting on their credit report. The reason why I want you, and we are taught this, and my mentors that I've paid thousands of dollars to get mentorship with, allows us to understand that you need to remove all old addresses, all old phone numbers, any alias names. Like, have y'all ever looked at your credit report and seen your first name and last name, and then you see another name that has like your first name, your middle initial, your last name, and then you might see something on a credit report where it's like first name, your full middle name, and your full last name. So there might be three names reporting for you on your credit report. Do me a favor and just only have them having the name that's your first and last name. So my name is Caitlin Cheyenne Barber. Yes, that's my government name. And I don't want them to know my middle name. I don't need them to know I have a C in my middle name. The only name I want them to have on file is my first name and my last name. You know why? Because there's like so many Caitlin Barbers in the United States of America. So due to that fact, how are you going to tell me this is mine when we got a whole bunch of other Caitlin Barbers? See, I'll get to that later. So the less information they have about you, the better, right? Because you may have got a repo or an eviction or a student loan at an old address that you never lived, like you don't live at anymore. So check this out. If you have a repossession reporting, maybe you got it 3 years ago. Okay, you got this repo 3 years ago and you've moved, like you live in a whole other city, you live at a new apartment, you moved in with your mom, you moved in with your grandma, I don't know, but that address that's connected to the repo, you don't even live at anymore. So the smart thing to do is to remove that address connected to that repo that you no longer reside at. Why? Because now when we go in our dispute process, that address is going to show connected to that repo, but that address is not on your credit report. This is false information. Are you guys hearing me okay? Drop some value in the chat if you're getting some value. So I hope you guys screenshotted this. You can literally do this over the phone. You do not have to send out dispute letters. Equifax, call Experian, and call TransUnion. The numbers are right here on the screen. Do not waste up to 30 days doing this. Like, don't wait until you're ready to start your dispute process. Like, do it now, like right now, like tomorrow. All you got to do is call these numbers and do this information. All you got to say is, hi, my name is such and such. I'm just calling because I'm looking at my credit report and I recognize some like outdated and information about me that's not accurate. I would like to have my personal information updated. And that's it. This is my only date of birth. This is my only phone number, and this is my only employer. Are you guys following me okay? Do y'all have any questions right now? Somebody said value bars, value, beat the system, beat the system. Do y'all have any questions for me right now? If you're following me okay, drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know you're following with me okay. You definitely want to call all three. The reason why is it's very important to understand that each credit bureau is an entity, okay? So Equifax has nothing to do with Experian. TransUnion has nothing to do with Equifax, and Experian has nothing to do with Equifax. You know why? Because Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian are our three main credit bureaus, right? And because there are three main bureaus, what that means is they're all their own business. They're separate businesses. So you want to call each one separately. Understand that these people are not owned by the government. They're just businesses. Okay. So a lot of people think the credit bureaus are owned by the government. They're not. Okay. So they're just businesses like Walmart and Sam's Club that profit billions of dollars daily off of our negative debt. So now, you guys, we have the dispute process. Before we go in with this dispute process, I want you guys to do me a favor and screenshot this. You want to opt out of all the secondary credit reporting companies to remove their services and suppress the report, okay? Because once you do this, they will not report to companies on your behalf. So check this out. There is a secondary credit bureau called LexisNexis. LexisNexis knows all the information about you. If you're in your 20s, they know all your information about you. If you're 45, they know all your information about you since you were 19, where you've worked, your phone numbers, your addresses, things you've applied for. It's like a system that the three main credit bureaus use to verify your debt. Okay. So think about the secondary bureaus. See, a lot of people think there's only three credit bureaus, but there's actually seven or eight in total. You have like LexisNexis, AR Security, you have CoreLogic, you have Equifax, Experian, Credit, TransUnion. There's like so many of them. People think there's only three, but there's a lot of them. You just have the three main, and then you have these secondaries that sit behind those three main. And what those secondaries do is they verify the debt for the three main. They're like, yeah, that's her debt, because in my system here with LexisNexis, I can see on July 25th of 1989 that she did this. This is definitely her debt. So the goal is to freeze those secondary bureaus. There's 5 of them that I freeze, and I will give you all the numbers so you can call them, or you can go online. It's super easy to do. To freeze all of them, it might take you 10 minutes max to freeze all of them. Okay. You do not want them reporting behind the scenes information while you are disputing your negative accounts, because I just said that if we go into dispute a repo, they might try to go to the LexisNexis, ARS, Security Freeze, CoreLogic, and they might try to ask them like, hey, isn't this right? Like, I'm trying to verify her debt because I'm making a lot of money off her debt. So we can't remove this item, because if we remove this item, we lose out on money. Okay. So like I said, you don't want them to have information to verify your accounts. LexisNexis, screenshot this. This is one of them. Then you have Innovis. Let me go back to LexisNexis, give y'all time to screenshot. Y'all got the screenshot for this LexisNexis phone number? All right, so Erica, I'll answer all questions at the beginning of the masterclass, at the end, okay? And Tisha, for you as well, I'll definitely answer all y'all's questions at the end. I will let you can come off mute and ask me whatever, so I can see how I could properly assist y'all. But let's just save questions for the end. But in regards to the question on a specific slide, go ahead and ask me. LexisNexis, this is a number. All right, let's go to the next one. You have Innovis. This is also a secondary bureau. Innovis is also a secondary credit bureau. CoreLogic is also a secondary credit bureau. These are all the secondary bureaus you want to freeze. LexisNexis, Innovis, CoreLogic, SageStream. Here's the phone number. There's the address. There's a fax. Go to the website. Go online. And there's going to be a form. Let me give y'all an example so y'all can see. All right. So let's say we go to LexisNexis. Welcome to LexisNexis. All right. Let's go to LexisNexis. That's not it. Hold on. Here, let me do this. Hold on. How about I put all the links in the chat for y'all? Would y'all like me to put all the links in the chat for y'all? Oh, look, it just popped it up for me right here. So these are all the links. I will post all the links in the chat. You go to each of these links. Okay. Can y'all see my screen okay? Drop a 2 in the chat if you can see my screen okay. All right, cool. So all you do is you submit you can go to security freeze right here, right? You go down, request a security freeze for yourself, fill out the information, first name, last name, date of birth, social, city, state, zip code, driver's license, boom, boom, boom. You click submit. There you go. Same thing with all the other ones, okay? You guys following me, okay? Drop some fire in the chat if y'all were following me, okay? All right, let's move on. Okay, so we also have ARS. This is a screenshot for ARS. All right, now let's get into the disputing information. All right, this is the fun part, okay? Do me a favor and y'all drop in the chat some negative items y'all would like to get removed. What's some negative items we have on our credit report? inquiries, medical bills, closed accounts, collections, car payments, late payments, charge-offs, collections. Okay. Student loans, charge-offs. Okay. Cool. Anybody have like, I mean, don't be embarrassed. Like I had bad credit. I don't know if anybody on this call has had a bankruptcy or knows anyone with a bankruptcy. Repos, they're very everybody has had a repo. I mean, if you haven't had one yet, you're blessed, you're lucky, but plenty of people I know has experienced the process of going through a repossession. So real quick, anybody that has bankruptcy, it's really cool because when you have a bankruptcy reporting, you can literally just contact the courthouse that the bankruptcy reported at, like whichever your local courthouse is, and just ask them to send you something that shows where they reported your bankruptcy to. Courthouses do not report bankruptcies to the credit bureaus, so they'll send you a letter stating, I do not report bank we do not report bankruptcies to the credit bureaus. So that's the letter you would send into the credit bureau to prove to them that you shouldn't even collected that debt. So that would be a good information to give to your parents. Anybody or anyone that has bankruptcies, just contact the courthouse, call them. Hey, I'm trying to figure out where you reported this bankruptcy to. They're going to send you a letter back stating we don't anywhere. Use that letter to send to the credit bureaus to have the bankruptcy removed. All right, so disputing information, we have first the basic dispute. Now, the basic dispute includes inquiries, collection accounts, closed accounts, repos, student loans. Basically, you'll receive letters back notifying you if the items were removed or verified. A lot of the times, they're going to be verified in the basic dispute. See, a lot of people don't understand why they have to pay on a credit service monthly, or why can't I just pay it all up front? Well, most of the time, it's not just a one-time process. It is a process that you go through month to month, because the credit bureaus have 30 to 45 days to get back with you via a response. So if we go through one dispute round, that doesn't mean by the next first round, they're going to remove the item. It takes 30 to 45 days for them to respond, to review the items, to verify it, to remove it. And it's just a process, guys. Okay. So if the basic dispute, if they are verified, right? Sometimes the moment you send out dispute letters, they'll literally remove it. I've had situations where my first round I sent out, I got a letter back stating my inquiry was removed, or this collection account was removed, and so on and so forth. Okay. So if you have some items that are verified, let's move on. That is fine. Okay, cool. Y'all verified my debt. All right, well, now what we want to do, since they verified it, y'all ever had that situation where you try to dispute it and they send you a letter saying this is accurate? Most of the time, when you don't have the literacy, you might be like, oh, it's accurate, I can't do nothing about it. But if you know your rights as a consumer, yes, you can. Okay, so we're going to go back then and basically ask them to verify the debt for us. There's a 609 letter, what we call the prove it letter, like show me this is my debt, right? The 609 letter is based on the rights granted under section 609 of the FCRA. The FCRA is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So basically under section 609, credit reporting agencies are required. They are required to disclose information to consumers who request it. And that's what y'all are about to do when they verify your debt. You're going to request for them to give you the information to show me that this is my debt, to show me this is accurate. Okay. In addition to the required disclosure of information in your credit report, basically what we want to do in section 609 is require the credit bureaus to provide us a summary of our rights under the FCRA, a list of the federal agencies who enforce this FCRA, and a statement that the credit bureau is not required to accurate negative information unless it's outdated and cannot be verified. So this is why we want to ask them to prove it to us. What we call this is the 609 letter. Okay. Once we do that, we're going to do the validation of debt. So for say we do send out the 609 letter. Okay. And when we send out the 609 letter, they may verify. Maybe they do prove it that maybe like let me give y'all an example. I had a student loan collection. It was only like $900. At the end of the day, if I had to pay it off, like I was gonna pay it. But you don't technically have to. For one, for the credit bureaus to even furnish anything on your credit report, they need your authorization. And they didn't even get your authorization, furnished it, not even knowing if it's really 100% accurate. They're not supposed to report your repos, your collections, your late payments, your increase unless it's 100% accurate, right? So even if we do send out the 609 letter, the prove it letter, and they come back to prove it to us, that's okay. That's fine. We're just going to do a validation of debt to the creditor. So we're going to do this. We're going to change to immediately after you receive results, placed verified accounts in the validations of investigations letter. We're going to send this to the creditors, not the credit bureau. So we'll send it. If you have a Victoria's Secret credit card, let's send it to Victoria's Secret. If you have a late payment with Nissan Auto, let's send it to Nissan. So we're going to actually send it to the actual creditor. You have the right to disclose. You basically have the right to disclosure of information from the credit bureaus. You don't have to state anything to these creditors special or any certain language to exercise your right. You're going to simply write the credit bureau and request disclosure of information under 609 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Okay, you should always draft your own letters. Most of the time, I would recommend drafting your own letters to the credit bureaus based on your specific credit report information. You guys are probably like, well, what letter do I send them? You're going to send them a prove it letter and a validation of debt letter. Now, it doesn't have to be typed up all fancy. You guys, the more less fancy it looks and less professional it looks, the more these credit bureaus believe it's truly you. Because nowadays, if you're watching the news, all the credit bureaus, Equifax and TransUnion and Experian are getting trouble because they're not responding to consumers. They're just like looking at your letter. They're like, oh, this looks too fancy. This looks too professional. It looks like it's coming from a third-party consumer. Let's just throw this in the trash. But they're under investigation for doing so. They just got in trouble for doing so. It's literally all over the news, all over the internet, right? So you want to leverage this time. So as with the correspondence with the credit bureaus, send your letters via certified mail so you can track the receipt. So when you send it certified, you'll go to the post office and say, I would like to put a tracking number on, basically, I want to send it certified. They'll give you a tracking number. So now when it says arrived at the credit bureaus, you'll be able to be notified, okay, your letter was dropped off on this day at this time at the office, okay? Right? So now you have proof that they received your letter. Remember, by law, if they don't respond within the 30 to 45-day period, the item must be deleted. Okay. Are you guys following with me? Okay. Let me know. I just want to make sure I didn't confuse anyone. I just want to make sure everyone is following me. Okay. All right. So remember, we're going to do a basic dispute, the 609 letter, the validation of debt letter. Now let's just say we do the validation of debt letter, right? And let's say we do the validation of debt letter and they still don't remove our item. That's okay. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go to like the big dogs. We're going to go to the mom and pops of the credit bureaus, as I like to call it. Now with the mom and pops of the credit bureaus, basically what this means is we're going to go to their mom and dad, right? They don't want to listen to us. They're disrespecting us. They don't want to see us elevate. They don't want to see us win. They don't want us to be homeowners. They don't want us to get that Mercedes Benz. Like they just want us to see us down bad. Like how many of you guys can feel me? Okay. Because I know how it feels to not be able to get approved or have any access to credit cards because I have bad credit. Not get an apartment, got to stay in the same environment. You want to move out of your environment, but you can't. So now you're depressed, now you're angry, now you're frustrated. But no, it doesn't have to be that way. But it's really and truly up to you to execute on this information. So let's talk about the mom and pops of the credit bureaus. They didn't listen to us. They're still trying to say this debt is mine. They're still trying to verify this debt as accurate. We're going to go to the CFPD. And I will show you that. It's literally a website, which we call the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, an agency of the United States government responsible for our protection in this financial sector that works for American consumers, us responsible providers in the economy as a whole. So they look out for us, not them. We're the consumers. They're the creditors. Not the creditors, but they're the ones collecting our debt and placing it in TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian database, which isn't allowing us to elevate. All right. So to remove negative items, you can also use the cfpb.gov. Okay. It's more time consuming, but it's effective. So let's just say they try to verify everything as accurate. Hold on, y'all. My computer's acting crazy. So let's say they verify everything as accurate. That's fine. I want you guys to understand that when you say send out these letters, make sure you keep an extra copy. Like, don't just make one letter and send it off to the bureau. Now you don't even really remember what letter you sent to them because you gave away your one and only letter. What I would like for you guys to do is I would like for you guys to make an additional copy of the letter. So when you come here, this is our final, this is our resort, the CFPD. This is for us consumers, our rights as a consumer. They protect us, they look out for us. So let's just say they don't want to remove any items, right? We done disputed, we done asked them to verify the debt, we did the validation letter, the 609 letter, the basic dispute. All right, that's cool. So we're gonna start a complaint and we're gonna tell on them because now they trying us. So you're gonna click start a new complaint. Okay, so after you start a new complaint, go ahead, sign it up. Let me try to log out. Hold on. Let me log into mine so y'all can see. So y'all would start a new submit a new complaint. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. I got y'all. I want y'all to see. All right, so you guys can see I do this. You see CFPD, like everything I'm telling y'all I've done. Okay, so I'm gonna log in real quick to do something. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna log in. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they protect us, not them. Let's leverage it. So you'll start a new complaint. Technically, I already have complaints. Like they kept trying to verify a late payment with Apple that I did make. I made it. All of the debt is probably ours unless you're a victim of identity theft, which if you were a victim of identity theft, I got a slide just for you. But for say like majority of us, we did, that is the repo, like it's true, like nobody stole our identity, like we really just fell back on finances, we lost our job, COVID hit, somebody got sick, we had a passing of the family, like we just couldn't do it and this happened to us. So even with my late payment, I made a late payment with Apple one time back in 2021, one time. I've had the card for like 2 years and I made one payment late, one. Out of 24, I made one late, one. And they kept trying me. They didn't want to delete it. They didn't want to delete it. So I went to the CFPD, as you see, Apple Card, closed. The company responded, credit reporting information, and now it's removed. So you'll just start a new complaint. You'll leverage all those letters that you've already sent. By this time, you're probably going to be in month 3. This is why I want you guys to understand that even if you do have to go to a credit company, think about it. Like some people are scared, like, oh, I have to pay monthly to get my credit fixed. Like, just understand where I'm coming from. Understand that even if you do it yourself, which I highly recommend to learn this, I highly recommend for you guys to get the literacy. I do, because when you go through companies, you know, you're not really learning anything. You're just letting them do the work for you. However, I get it. If you don't have time, that's when I would leverage it. But if you do have the time, let's do it. But like I said, by now, you're okay. In month 3 at this point, probably, because remember, 30 to 45 days for each response. We've already sent out 3 letters. That's 3 different responses. That's within 3 different time periods. Okay. Are you guys following me? Okay. All right, cool. So let's just say you're going to submit a complaint. What you'll do is you'll put credit reporting. What type of reporting? You'll do credit reporting. Incorrect information on my credit report. Account information incorrect. Have you already tried to fix this problem? Yes. Give your brief example. You could say, describe what happened. I constantly contacted the bureaus, and this is just an example. Type professional, put a period, put the right capital, lowercase, like, you know, they're with us, they're not with them. I constantly contact the bureau and they won't fix my issue. Don't type it like this. This is an example. If I were y'all, I would say something like, I've constantly reached out to Equifax in regards to a repo that is reporting and showing on my credit report. I have continuously tried to contact them. They're not responding. There's so many different things you could say depending based on your situation. You don't want the CFB to publish this description online, so don't check that. What would be a fair solution? A fair solution would be to please remove this item. All right. Attach all the dispute letters that you've sent in the past to show them you've been contacting them. That's why I told you guys make additional copies of your dispute letters, select the file, upload it, go next. Credit reporting company, you're going to have to do one at a time. You can't do TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian all at one time. You know why? Because they're 3 different companies. They're 3 different businesses. Verify with your social, your name, date of birth. Do you want to complain about another company? Then you say yes, and then you're going to do like Equifax next. Same thing. You've tried to fix the issue, verify. Do you want to complain? Yes. Now let's do Experian. Let me know if you guys understood this CFPD website. Let me know if you guys understand that the CFPD is on your side. They are the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We are the consumers. They protect us, not them. Drop some fire in the chat if you guys got some value. Have you guys ever tried to contact the CFPD in regards to your negative items or your dispute process? How many of you guys have been struggling with removing negative items but have never reached out to the CFPD? Sometimes you have to take it here. Like, I'm sorry to say, it's stressful, it's time consuming, but if you really want to see true success and elevation, sacrifice now for later. Sacrifice now for later. Don't let them determine when you can buy a home. Don't let them determine where you have to reside for the rest of your life because you have a 650, you have a 520 credit score and you got to live here. Why do they get to determine where you live? Why do they get to determine what car you drive in? They don't pay your bills. They don't take care of your kids or feed your family. Don't let these people win. Y'all got it. I'm giving you all the game. All right, so let's move forward. All right, we're almost done, you guys, kind of, sort of, ish. So after that, let's just say, you know, we have credit report dispute companies. So CFPD was one. Then we have the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission Act. So if there was identity theft, like if I have any of y'all who purse got stolen, someone broke into your home, your car, go on the FTC if there was identity theft, an independent agency of the United States of government whose principal mission is the enforcement of us civil U.S. Antitrust law and the promotion of consumer protection. So FTC resides with us as well. Just go to them, explain to them what had happened, whatever the issue was. My purse was stolen a few years ago. You know, a family member of mine decided that they wanted to be shiesty and they took my credit report, my social a few years ago, and then they got mad at me again. And then they started applying for all, like, you just tell them the story, like, just be real with them. Once you do this with the FTC, use FTC to identify FTC identity theft affidavit attached. So just attach the affidavit. You'll need to file a police report and say, like, you could say this: you lost your wallet, your purse, etc. a few years ago, before your negative accounts were open. Then you'll need to get it notarized, attach an identity theft dispute letter, attach 502 law. So the 502 law, just attach it, and then copy of your ID and utility bill. Okay, so this is if you were a victim identity theft. Okay. We have another dispute company called the Better Business Bureau. This is basically a private nonprofit organization with the mission to advance marketplace trust. Most creditors have an established history in rating with the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, right? So you want to contact the Better Business Bureau when dealing with a company making the dispute process difficult for you, such as they keep verifying your debt. They're saying, I'm not removing this. No, you're going to get it removed, right? It has to get removed. I didn't even verify this debt for it to be on my credit report. You guys didn't get my signature or my permission to furnish this on my credit report. How are you gonna make money off of me and I don't even get the money? That's not fair, right? So the business will have a better chance of complying with your dispute if their rating and reputation is at stake. Hence, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian right now, because they were doing things so illegally the last few months, right? Then there's another credit reporting company, which is the Attorney General and Collector State, which is the Fair Debt Collection Practices, which is the FDCPA, which makes certain behaviors unlawful for these third-party companies. Hence, everybody that's reporting your repo, your auto loan, your student loan, your medical bill, that credit card collection, that's what the third-party creditors are, right? So you're going to contact the Attorney General office. If you have to take it this far, just take it this far, right? Sacrifice now for later, right? You're going to file a complaint against whichever creditor. Badcock, Rooms to Go, Victoria's Secret, T-Mobile, Sprint, whatever the creditor is. The state attorney general has the ability to take action against a creditor based on the details of the complaint filed, So this action promotes an opportunity to invalidate your creditors during this dispute process, okay? So remember, I just gave you all the credit report dispute companies: CFPD, FTC, BBB, Better Business Bureau, and the Attorney General and Collector's Office of the state, okay? Then we have late payments. Let's talk about late payments, you guys. If you have late payments, this is what I want y'all to do. Call the creditors first, right? Call the creditors first and ask them to see if they have a forgiveness program so they can remove these items for you. Before you try to send out a dispute letter for a late payment, again, try to contact the creditors to see if they do have a forgiveness option for you. You have to consider that the person who answers the phone may not be the individual who can help you. So don't get frustrated. Don't give up. Make sure that you speak to at least 3 people for the creditor. So if your creditor is Sprint, call Sprint. The first person you call, they may be an a-hole, they may be having a bad day, or they may not know what they're doing because they're just a regular 9-to-5 employee. So they may not know the laws, right? So sometimes you might have to just hang up on them, call again. Try 3 times before you say forget it, right? So if no one is willing to assist you with your request, you should then send a forgiveness letter. That details that the steps that you took in your financial situation. The forgiveness letter may give you additional traction in your process. If that does not work, then use the dispute process to state they are reporting inaccurate information on your report, basically of these missed payments, okay? So I want you guys to understand that you can dispute these letters in typically a 2-week sweep method or the CFPD. Maybe leverage the CFPD. There's different routes that you can go with doing so, but I do have something for y'all to help y'all, so just give me one quick second to get there. We do have special circumstances when it comes down to our credit report. Collection accounts make your security freeze everything for your big accounts included. Any collections, repossessions, and closed accounts or foreclosures. Bankruptcies, judgment, and tax liens, right? Let's talk about that. You want to freeze everything and submit a direct 609 letter to repair your accounts. bankruptcies, judgments, and tax liens. Okay. The 2-week method has been very successful recently. So let me explain to y'all what the 2-week sweep is. Okay. Are you guys still following me? Okay. Let me know I didn't bore you guys. You said even if the account shows positive remarks. What were you referring to? Were you referring to as far as removing the late payment, or what exactly were you just referring to? I hope I'm giving y'all some value tonight. I hope you guys are really finding value from this. All right, cool. So let's talk about, okay, he was referring. Okay, just unmute yourself if you don't mind, really quick.
Hey, what's going on, Caitlin?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good about yourself.
Blessed, improving every single day. Thank you.
Yeah, I was actually want to know because the earlier you was talking about something that you could go and dispute that late payment even though like I I don't know, but I want you to touch that topic again for me because I know there's a friend of mine that I can help with that.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll come back to the late payment. So like before the end of the call, if y'all have any additional questions or need additional help, I will sit on here with y'all to help you. So basically, let's talk about the 2-week sweep method. So if you once we do our first round of dispute, which is the basic dispute method, which you're basically just saying like, hey, I'm recognizing some negative items on my credit report, please remove this. Like that's the basic way to do it, right? And then you go in with those additional steps. However, check this out. We have something called the 2-week sweep, where basically you can backdate your letters 2 weeks. Okay. So for say today is October 26th. Today's October 26th, right? So if I was gonna send a letter out today, October 26th, check this out. Hold on. So today's the 26th. So 2 weeks ago would have been October 12th. Okay. So I would put October 12th on my letter, even though I'm sending it out on the 26th of the month. Does that make sense? The reason why I'm doing this is because remember, by law, they have 30 to 45 days to respond or the item must be deleted, right? Because now then they're violating the law by still keeping it on the credit report without giving me any response. And that's another dispute for you. However, I send the letter out today, but I backdated it 2 weeks. So basically, when they receive the letter, it's going to almost 4 weeks because like 30 days is about like 4 weeks, a little over, a little less. So when I backdate it, basically this is gonna make them feel like, oh snap, like I'm running out of time to respond to her. Like, let me hurry up and try to delete this item or hurry up and respond to her, which helps, speed up our process, right? It's a hack, it's a trick. 2-week sweep method, backdate your letter. Now, when you do this, don't send it certified mail because now you're putting a tracking number on that and they will be able to see you put it in the mail on the 26th. So you want to send it out regular snail mail, regular, like don't track it. Don't let them see when you went to the post office. When you pay for it, they can see because you're putting that tracking information. But when you send it out regular snail mail, technically it could have got lost. It could have took long to get to them. But all reality, we backdated it 2 weeks. Okay. So that is a hack. After 2 weeks, 15 days later, so 2 weeks, you did the 2-week sweep method. 2 weeks is already 14 days went by, right? After the first 15 days of you sending it out, like today's the 26th. Technically, it says the 12th. In 15 days from the day you sent it out, go on the CFPD and file a complaint or send out a demand to comply letter 11 days later. Like you're demanding them to comply. It's been 30 to 45 days. When all reality, it hasn't, but we backdated our letters, remember? So we'll ask to do a demand to comply. If they don't respond after that 15 days, so you go 11 days, demand to comply, 15 days, you'll do the CFPD complaint. And now the CFPD is going to be on them because they haven't responded to you. So if you need me to touch back on that, I'm always here. So let's move on real quick because I know some people have babies or maybe they're just tired and they have to go to work in the morning. So I don't want to keep anyone too much longer, but real quick, let's just finish this out. I'll try to like get through it as quickly as possible. So we're gonna do the deletion process, like I said, the CFPD to override the 3 bureaus. Remember the basic dispute, provide companies with the 609 letter via certified mail, and then you're gonna provide companies with a validation letter via certified mail. When you go through this deletion process, always keep your letters, as I said. It is illegal for credit bureaus to put negative items back on your credit report once it has been deleted or unverified or inaccurate. So check this out. If you guys get a letter from the bureau saying, hey, we're going to delete this item for you, keep it, because if it shows back up, oh no, this is illegal. I have a legal document right here stating that you removed it. Now, 2 months later, you put it back on my credit report. Now I'm about to get $1,000 off of you. Did you guys know when they falsely report things to your credit report, you can get up to $1,000 per item they remove? So if any of y'all have items removed, whether it's 5, whether it's 10, whether it's 20, whether it's 30, you know how much money you can rack up off of these people? You know why? You know why they're going to give you money? Because they falsely reported these items. Check this out. When the credit bureau removes an item, they basically admit that they falsely reported. So when they do that, they have to pay you. You know why they have to pay you? They have to pay you for the simple fact that they stopped you from getting a home. They made you stressed, depressed. They made you have to eat noodles every night. Like they stressed you out, right? Because you have to pay such high rent because you can't get approved for a home, or you could have technically been paying maybe $600-700 a month, but now you got to pay $1,500 a month because of them, because your credit score is bad, because they reported negative items. Now they deleted these items. You put me through all that stress. You got to pay me, right? It's just really and truly about understanding the laws. Really and truly about understanding the laws. These folks, they got to pay you. Okay, let's move on. We're almost done, y'all. So after that, we're going to do credit bureaus. Understand they are privately owned. I said this in the beginning of the call. They're not government owned. This is the 2-week method. Feel free to screenshot it. I know I went through it quickly, but here is a screenshot of how the 2-week method would go. Okay, go to the CFPD, file the complaint, 609 letter. It's just a lot of value, guys, right? You should also file a complaint with the CFPD 14 days later. I explained this to y'all as well. So feel free to get a screenshot, right? But I know some people have some questions for me. So this was the end of the presentation. But real quick, I want to tell you guys something. So right now, I have something for y'all. I literally have, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what I have. I literally have all the dispute packets. Everything that I was talking about, the 609 letter, the basic dispute letter, the demand to comply letter, the prove it letter. I have all the letters for repos, late payments, increased student loans, round 1, round 2, alternate 1, alternate 2. And I am selling this for tonight for $50. Let me show you. $50 for all these disputes, $50. For every single dispute packet. It's 24 pages in here. Everything you need to go through this process that I just showed you guys for $50. So look, if y'all want all the letters so you can go through the process, I know y'all took the screenshots. I know you took the notes. Now you know how to use the letters, but you need the letters to be able to do the process. So I will give them out for $50, all of them. Credit companies are charging you guys out the butt to fix their credit, right? But how would you feel if you could just stay connected with me, receive my mentorship, however, utilize the letters for $50 that I have, all of them that you need to go through this process. It saves a lot of money, right? So if you want that, what I'll do is do me a favor and get back with me if you want those letters, $50 for every single one of them. Not only that, I will give you mentorship. So if you need to touch back bases with me to understand how to use the letters because you forgot or you missed out on the screenshot, I promise you, I won't leave you hanging. That's what I'm here for. I love my people. I love my community. I love helping out other individuals. I want to see each and every single one of y'all win. I know how it feels to have bad credit. Like I said, I was in a very tough place of my life at one point in my life, and it was tough. It was so tough. I had to stay in an abusive relationship, physically, mentally, and verbally, because I didn't have no money or any credit. I couldn't move. I couldn't get away from it. I had to stay in it, right? But one day I told myself that it's just time for a difference. It's time to pivot. I don't care how broke or how low I go through the process. It's worth investing into myself. It's worth investing into my credit. It's worth investing into education. Remember, I told y'all in the beginning of the call, information changes situations, but it's really and truly about getting in the right rooms and getting around the right conversation. Trust and believe me, a lot of people wish they could have this information that y'all just had on this call tonight. I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot. I just truly believe in being genuine and being a person of integrity. And that's all I'm about. So that's why I wanted to do this free credit masterclass, because I do feel like um, information ain't free, but there's nothing wrong with helping someone out. There's nothing wrong with putting our community and other people around us in position, because if we're all winning, who is losing, right? Do y'all feel me? Like, drop some fire in the chat if y'all got some value from this call tonight. I really do appreciate y'all for tuning in, but let's get to the questions. You don't have to turn your camera off, but go ahead. Whatever you want to ask me, anything you want, go ahead and unmute your line tonight. And go ahead, let's get it.
Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
Hey, Tisha, how are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you. Thank you for great information. It's amazing. And $50, guys, that's a that's a deal. I had a quick question for you. I have a guest here actually. I have a few guests. Her and I tried getting rid of some inquiries. She has 13 inquiries. That's the only thing that she's got left on her credit. She's got a closing November 7th. But they're 13 and 16. And we were not able to get them removed. She already sent the dispute. So we've already done the steps to get other things removed. And she also filed a complaint. I do remember you giving suggestions on how to remove the inquiries in 24 hours. Would you be able to elaborate on that?
Of course. You guys can take a screenshot of this. This is my 24-hour removal ebook. You guys got lucky because y'all stayed on the call. This is the secret. I charge for this, but look, here we go. So screenshot this. This is one method. I have two methods as well. This is just the first one I recommend because it worked for me. I called. It was very tedious. I had to call back like probably 8 times per bureau. It was so frustrating. However, I end up getting my inquiries removed. You want to talk to the manager of the dispute department. You do not want to talk to the regular 9-to-5 employee. The reason why I say that is because these people that answer the phone to the credit bureaus are just regular 9-to-5 employees. The information I gave to you guys tonight, they don't even know. Like, they don't even have the information I gave y'all as an employee. All they know is to tell us consumers who call all they know is to tell the consumers that we must send a letter. They're going to try to tell y'all you must send a letter or you must send a FTC report. But if you understand right as a consumer under the FCRA, that is not the case. But Tisha, if you just email me your email, I can also send you something else, okay? Something else that should help, maybe in 15 days potentially. So just send me your email. It's like a 15-day method. You got me, Tisha? I want to bring on.
Yes, no, I'm sorry. It said host muted me, so I figured you didn't want me to say anything. But yes, okay. And unfortunately, right when I called with her, she called alone. Then when I called today, actually, we asked for a supervisor, escalated, different department. It was quite frustrating to say the least. Even the consumer relations department. So I guess the answer would be just hang up and keep calling back.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Okay.
But also, yeah, I might have something else for you. I definitely want
That
to
would be great.
You're welcome. I want to bring on a testimony. I have someone who I gave all this information to and leveraged everything that I mentioned on this class tonight. He decided I see he hopped on here and I appreciate that, but I want you guys to hear it from him. I call him Mr. Randy Parks, man. He is a great person to be connected with. He's always given me good value, but in return, I love to value. I love to be in these circles and I love to be in these conversations because it elevates me and it puts me in a better position each and every day. I continue to grow and I continue to learn. I want y'all to understand a formal education will make you a living, but a self-education will make you a fortune. And fortune doesn't always have to be riches. Fortune can be happiness. Fortune can be wealth. Fortune can be prosperity. Fortune can be so much more than just money, right? So, Mr. Randy Parks, if you don't mind just unmuting your line and letting them know what this information was able to do for your credit when you purchased the dispute packets.
Hey, can you hear me, Caitlin?
I sure can.
Okay, first of all, I just want to thank you for allowing me to come on your platform. I was so excited when I saw you were doing another masterclass because I just genuinely wanted to thank you for what you have been able to do for me and my household. So, first of all, I want to say to everybody that's on here, take advantage of that $50 sale that she's giving. When I bought that package, it was a whole lot higher, and I still will pay for it again and again and again. So this process is so easy to do when you get the package. I know it's a lot of information, but this package lays it out step by step with no problem at all. I was able to improve my credit 72 points in about 42 days. That 72 points basically took me from riding in a beat up Honda with the side mirror duct taped on to pushing a 2021 Cadillac SRX fully loaded. And I just want to say thank you very much, Caitlin. Continue doing what you're doing. People, credit is the answer and the key. Do not give up. Do not let these companies bully you. They are simply put here to make money and sell your information. Get this package and take your life to another level, gain the financial literacy. And once you buy the package, spread the word to your family and friends. Help them grow as well. So I'm going to let you finish up your presentation. I just wanted to hop on and just thank you again and to let these people know, take action, pull the trigger, buy the packet. And you have a good night.
Thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate you for just even trusting me and coming to me to assist you. It definitely means a lot. And one thing that I'm really big on is integrity. One thing I don't want to do is lead anyone incorrectly. I really truly and do want to see all of you guys win. That's why each and every day, 2 years later, if you've been on my Facebook for the last year, 2 years, I'm consistent. I keep showing up because I do truly believe that information changes situations. Now, if you are a person who may not really have time to do this dispute process yourself, I can do it for you. I can do it for you if you want me to do it for you. But to get started with me, it will be $130 and it will be $89 monthly because it is a process. And when I'm working with a lot of people, it can be quite time consuming. So the package itself, the dispute pack, we can do $50 just for the pack. Y'all have all the mentorship from me as well as the information to do the process yourself. Or I can do the process for you at a price of getting started with me of $130 and $80 month to month. I won't have you guys in any contract or anything like that. You can opt out whenever you desire, or you could use the service for however long you want. I even have access to secured credit cards to give you to help you build your credit. And I even have access for my renters, anybody in an apartment or anybody renting out something that rental report reported to their credit. I can show you how to report your rental payments to the credit bureaus so you can get a boost in your score and an additional trade line. If you were paying attention on this call tonight, you will understand and know that having trade lines will take you next level. You can't just be paying a credit card and your number says 730, but all you pay on is a credit card. Have amazing credit. You have to have revolving and installment loans. The lenders want to see that you're trustworthy. And the only way they can know you're trustworthy is if you have a mix of revolving and installment loans, not just paying on a credit card every month. It's bigger than that, it's deeper than that, and it goes way further than that. So do I have anybody else that has any questions for me? Does anybody else want to unmute their line? You don't have to turn your camera on and just ask me anything about this process I gave y'all tonight.
Actually, Katie, I just wanted to myself give a quick testimony on you. Whoever's on here, she's well worth it. I was able to leverage off of her and her knowledge and her mentorship. So I just wanted to hop on. She didn't have to do that, but I am doing it. It's worth every penny of it. Not just the speed letters, but her mentorship. So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents on that.
Oh, thank you so much, Tisha. I really appreciate that. That definitely warmed my heart tonight. I really appreciate you for just coming on and giving me that recognition, for sure. Like I say, y'all, my goal here is to help y'all, never take from you. I'm a big person on integrity, and I want to see everyone win. I don't believe in withholding information because I do believe that those people that are scared to tell you how to get money or that are scared to tell you how to do something they did because they think that if you do it too, you'll go higher than them. They have a poverty mindset. And one thing I don't have, but I used to have, was a poverty mindset. I didn't want to want people to know what I was doing, what moves I was making, how I was doing this, because I didn't want to see them doing better than me. But I realized I had a poverty mindset. There's enough out here for each and every single one of us to win. And there's enough out here for each and every one of us to thrive and change our situation. So I do believe if we come together as one and make it happen, especially in our communities out here, we can all be at the top. So we're not up there alone, right? Because it's going to be boring, real boring at the top all by yourself. So let's bring some people with us. Does anybody else have any questions for me tonight?
I actually have a question.
Okay.
Thank you for all the information that you have given us. But my question is, why do we have to go through all these steps? Why don't we just go straight to the CFPB and file the complaint straight up?
So you actually can. You actually can. There's different steps and different processes to this. That was a great question, by the way. I've actually done that before. I've wrote them stating to them of just misinformation on my credit report that I wasn't even it wasn't even verified through me that is reporting. There has been instances where I may have had an inquiry and I went straight to the CFPD. I took a screenshot of my inquiries because you know how it showed to upload your files on the CFPD website. Well, I took a screenshot from Equifax TransUnion Experian stating to them that I am unfamiliar with these items. I may have even said I've even called them and I've tried to contact them, and the items are still showing. This inquiry I have never applied for. It's not mine. I needed to be deleted. I did not verify the validate the validate. I did not give you guys the validation. So even report this on my credit report as a consumer, I do have rights. So there's been instances where I have done that route. However, it doesn't always work because what the CFPD does is they contact the three main bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, to either speed their process to let them know they have a complaint because they do stand next to us and stand by us. But then sometimes, they'll reach out to them. TransUnion will let you know that they're working on their response to you. And then literally you might get a letter in the mail 2-3 days later stating this item was verified as accurate. So sometimes you have to go through the other routes like, well, show me this is accurate. Prove it to me that this is my debt. Show me that I signed the signature for this credit card. Show me my signature for T-Mobile, this T-Mobile collection. Show me my signature for this repo. Show me show me the validity of the debt, right? Because if they can't give you the validation, if they can't prove it, even though it is yours, it's not supposed to be on your credit report unless it's 100% accurate. So if they can't prove to you that it's 100%, maybe they can prove to you 99% is yours, 75% is yours, 85% is yours. However, if If they can't recruit 100% as yours, the item must be deleted. I hope that helps. Let me know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just wanted to mention I tried that process sometimes. I tried that through the whole process.
Randy, you're breaking up real bad. I don't know if you can hear me okay, but you were breaking up. Try to come in again one more time.
Can you hear now?
Okay, keep going. Let me see.
I was saying that I tried that method before. Am I coming through clear?
Yeah, we still can't hear you. Sorry about that, Randy. We couldn't hear you tonight. Does anybody else have any questions for me?
I don't have a question, but this is Cheryl, and I just wanted to tell you thank you for this tonight. You are amazing, and for anyone on this line, Caitlin is my mentor, and I will follow her everywhere, anywhere she goes. She is what she says she is. She's the real deal. She has kids. I'll call her any time of the day. She'll pick up the phone. If she can't get to me, she's like, "I'll call you back, Queen." Like, she's motivated me. I've got personal development. And anything I ask of her, she's willing to give. And this is no lie, no joke. So if you guys join up with Caitlin, you're going to get that and then some. She teaches you how to be a leader. And she's one of the most humblest people I know. I love you, Caitlin, and thank you so much.
I love you too, Cheryl. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Hi, Caitlin. This is Joanne Ellis. I was invited on this call by Tisha. Tisha, great information. Thank you for all the information you shared. I have a quick questions regarding student loans. Have you ever worked with somebody with student loan debt, and is it something that we're able to remove or partially remove, or any information that you may have on that would be greatly appreciated.
So with student loans, I tell people they can either help you or they can fail you. So to give a scenario like this, if we have a student loan that is on time and you're making the payment every month, a lot of people are like, well, I want to remove it. Well, why do you want to remove something that has good history? When you pay that student loan on time every single month, it gives you good history. It's a trade line. You need a mortgage, you need an auto loan reporting, you need a good mix of, those revolving and installment loans. And a student loan is a loan that you will eventually pay off. So it's an installment loan. You want installment loans showing on your credit report. The lenders want to see that you can even deal with a installment loan. Okay, so if you are on time and it is positive and it is an open account, I don't recommend ever removing it, because when you remove it, you're going to delete that history. Your score will drop. But if you have a student loan that's negative or in collections, remove it because it's negative and it's in collections. Also, remove it if you have multiple late payments on it. Maybe you have a student loan with multiple late payments showing. It may be a closed account, or it may have went to collections, but there's a whole bunch of late payments. Just delete the entire account because the account's already negatively affecting you. You cannot remove a student loan that's open or on hold. So how many of you have been in situations where you have student loans that you don't have to pay on until next year or 6 months later? Those accounts you can't remove. It's an open account. Like, it's technically an open account. So you can't remove it. But if it's closed or negative and derogatory, remove it. If it's closed with a whole bunch of late payments, that history, that trade line history itself is no good to you, remove it. However, if you have, let me give you another case scenario. Say you're like one of those people that are like, well, I went to the school, but I didn't finish the school, so I don't believe I should pay on it. This happened and this happened. I've been there, trust me. I went to it's an esthetician program. I did not finish the esthetician school, and I felt like I shouldn't have to pay that back. So what I'm going to do, for one, there's a student loan forgiveness going on for the next few months. I would recommend anybody who has student loans to apply for it. It's free and it takes less than 3 minutes. Definitely try to apply for the student loan forgiveness. I think they're helping people forgive up to 20K. It could be a little more or a little less, but I think that's the number I saw. So if you have 5 grand, 10 grand, 16, 17, definitely try to apply for the forgiveness. However, let's just say you have a student loan that you don't have to pay on until next year. Don't wait till next year to start paying on it unless like you are in a financial situation where like you kind of have to. But remember, if you want to build your credit, remember how many of y'all are like, well, I don't really have too many negative items, I just need to build my credit. Well, all you have to do is call the student loan, the department, the company, and say, hi, I would like to set up a payment plan with my student loan. I want to set up my payment plan to be $30 a month, $40. Is that okay? Okay. Now, set that up. Now you're going to have a payment of $30 a month. But remember, we buy trade lines all the time. We're constantly like, hey, I'll pay you to add me as an authorized user. Or does anybody know where I can find a secured card that I have to pay for anyway? Well, why not pay on the student loan that will be a positive history to you and add you that positive trade line? So Joanne, I have a question. Is it a situation where it's a negative an account, it's an open account, or did this help you, or do you need me to furthermore iterate?
Thank you so much for the information. It was great, great information. It's not negative, and it's not it's on hold. It's on hold. And also, yes, you just reminded me that I can apply for the student loan forgiveness that's going on right now. So I need to remember to do that.
Yes, I recommend everybody to apply for it. I would. And yes, if your student loan is on hold, there's no removing because it's not a closed or negative account. It's on hold. So I recommend getting it off hold ASAP, because when you do and make those payments monthly, your credit score will actually go up versus down. A lot of people think because they have student loans, their credit score is just going to drop. The only way it's going to drop is if you don't pay it or like it's negative. But if it's negative, you can remove it. I know I have a business partner. His name is George Newberry. I even have his book right here. I've been reading it, but this man was in $26 million of debt. He was a multi-million dollar owner, and he had an institution that was making him millions. But there was a tragedy in his city where there was like a huge storm and it took down his whole building, his whole business. So he ended up going 26 million, not 26,000 in debt, but he was able to get himself out of debt. So just understand that all of y'all struggling with negative items right now, you can get yourself out of debt. I promise you. It might take some sacrifice. It could take 12 months, but I promise you, let's sacrifice now for later. It'll be worth it in the end. Anybody else have any questions for me? All right, y'all. So don't forget to reach out to me. I have the dispute packet for $50. If you want me to do the process for you as well, reach out to me. I just wanted to come on here today and give y'all free value. I know I'm always posting, but nothing's better than an actual me speaking and presenting information. So thank each and every single one of y'all for spending time with me tonight. I'm going to let y'all go. We've been on here for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Hey guys, do me a favor. If you found value in this, just drop some fire in the chat real quick. Let me know I gave y'all value tonight. Let me know you appreciate it. I just say the same to you. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. Talk to you soon.